power comes great responsibility.
About a week ago, we got a bunch of GameCube games in the mail, sent to us by Kevin from Jersey City, New Jersey. Since then, we've been playing them, reviewing them, going with them on a trip back to the early 2000s. I graduated from high school in the early 2000s. Turns out that was a long freaking time ago. I guess I didn't realize how long till I played some of these GameCube games. Spider-Man in particular. It's not really that games have come a long way in the last 12 years. It's that anything would come a long way in 12 years, because 12 years is a long freaking time. I wonder if Kirsten Dunst still needs a jacket.
Don't panic, boys. It was only a matter of time before we had to deal with Spider-Man. Let's take care of security and get some hostages.
We've got a situation here. We need backup.
Backup is on the way.
I don't know who this creep is, but he's easy to follow.
Spider-Man was released in 2002, a tie-in for the blockbuster movie, which has since been rebooted, which kind of bothers me. You can't reboot something that's only a decade old. That's the rules. Anyway, I last played this game, probably 2010 for the PlayStation 2, and to be honest, it's not as bad as I remember. This was probably decent for 2002. Not so much now, though.
Talk is cheap. I'm gonna take you down.
So, the game kind of follows the movie, but in the same way an ugly drunk guy might approach a girl at the bar. He's on the right trail, but he can't really see straight and ends up in the bathroom instead. You get cutscenes that move things along, but I mean, I've seen the movie, and they barely made sense. That's one area where these games really show their age. And not just Spider-Man, but a lot of the licensed GameCube games we've been playing. The presentation's nowhere near what it is today.
Sorry, no autographs.
Don't even go there.
You know, you could say the same thing for the graphics, but to be fair, Spider-Man's not a bad-looking GameCube game. In fact, for a 2002 release, it's actually doing some impressive stuff. It's got some big 3D cityscapes, which also look better than you'd expect. And there's some nice effects here, too. Not much in the way of style, but technically, Spider-Man is surprisingly decent looking on the GameCube. Another nice surprise is that moving across the city is actually pretty awesome. Again, it's certainly not without a couple 2002 quirks, but for the most part, swinging through the sky and climbing up skyscrapers is a lot of fun, and it controls pretty well too. As long as you're outside and in the sky, controlling Spider-Man is surprisingly fun. And then you go inside.
Circus in town?
And really, that's when you get stuck in the web. I mean, it's almost like two different games with this indoor stuff. Camera's not great outside either, but inside it's a nightmare. And that's because the quarters are so tight, which poses other problems. Spider-Man wants to stick to everything. And that's fine when you're outside, in wide open space. Different story in a 4x4 vent. Some of Spider-Man's attacks are cool, but for the most part it's just button mashing. You do cool attacks almost by accident, and you wonder how you did it. So the combat could use some streamlining, but in the rare instances when everything cooperates, when the camera works and you mash the right buttons, beating up bad guys is a lot of fun. It's just that some generic design and a terrible camera do their best to keep that from happening. And although the GameCube version looks better than the PS2 version, it does have some frame rate issues, so you do have the occasional technical drawbacks as well.
Jane, stop this crazy thing! Whew. That's the last of them. But who sent them?
I guess another positive is that you have some of the actors voicing their characters, like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. But I mean, if he didn't want to, they shouldn't have asked him, because it sounds like he didn't want to. He sounds disinterested even for Tobey Maguire, and that's pretty disinterested. I'd tell you about the game's boring music, but in that case, I was disinterested. You know, another thing that really put into perspective how far these licensed games have come since 2002 is that I actually played Deadpool for the Xbox 360 right after playing this. Another Marvel game, another brawler, but a generation later. And the difference is huge in terms of its controls and graphics and presentation. It's really a massive jump. So massive, not even Spider-Man can clear it. This was a solid game for its time, but Look, I'm not in high school anymore, and most of the cute girls in my class probably have kids now. So, we'll always have the prom, Spider-Man for the GameCube.
Stay back! I'm warning you, you psycho!
I could have stopped you at the fight promoter's office. I could have saved Uncle Ben.